Welcome to the System Setup Guide for your 1200A In-Vitro Muscle Test System. Please refer to the manuals before proceeding to familiarize yourself with all the parts of the apparatus assembly, as well as the quick start videos for all included ASI equipment. The system will arrive in several boxes. Inspect the packaging to make sure nothing has been damaged in transit and that you have received all the equipment which you ordered. A complete system will have the following: the dual mode lever system, the in vitro apparatus, the 701C biphase high-powered stimulator, the computer and monitor, the signal interface box. Before setting up the equipment, choose an appropriate location for your test system. A clear lab bench near electrical outlets is strongly recommended. All the electronics boxes are designed to mount in standard 19-inch instrument racking, but is also easily stackable on laboratory shelving. Once a suitable location has been determined and all the equipment has been unpacked, start by placing the apparatus on the bench and mounting the electronics. Plug in all power cables to the rear panels of the instruments and make certain to plug them into a common power bar. An uninterruptible power supply is also recommended to protect against blackouts. Once the power cables have been plugged in, the electronics and computer can be arranged appropriately to best suit the available space and the comfort of the user. Now, let's review the necessary cable connections. First, begin with the connections to the computer. The keyboard and mouse should be plugged into the USB ports on the back of the computer tower. The monitor can be connected with the supplied blue VGA cable. Finally, the flat ribbon cable from the rear of the 604A signal interface can be plugged into the connector on the PCI card in the computer. Once the connections to the PC have been made, the signal and stimulation lines can be connected with the provided BNC cables. Let's review the connections which must be made, beginning with the dual mode system and the signal interface. Length out on the dual mode to length in on the 604A. Length in on the dual mode to length out on the 604A. Force out on the dual mode to force in on the 604A. Force in on the dual mode to force out on the 604A. Connections between the stimulator and the 604A must also be made. Connect pulse trigger on the stimulator to the BNC labeled stimulator on the 604A. Sync out on the stimulator to aux1 on the 604A. All of the remaining aux channels on the 604A should be terminated with the BNC terminators provided. Finally, connect output pulses on the stimulator to the side port of the in vitro apparatus. With all the connections made, you can now fabricate a small hook to facilitate the suturing of the muscle. Take a small piece of stainless or platinum wire and bend it into a small hook with some needle nose pliers. Take a 2.5 millimeter Allen key and loosen the two screws at the bottom of the lower tissue clamp as shown. Then slide the hook which you have just made into the lower tissue clamp and tighten up the locking screws. With the hook in place, You can now suture the muscle between the hook itself and the lever arm of the dual mode lever system. Take care that the hook does not touch the platinum stimulation electrodes. This concludes the 1200A system setup video. For further information, please contact Aurora Scientific.